there's been people getting tested every single day. That probably is the only rational reason. But, I mean, Denver's just played without any quarterback. You know what I mean? They just brought their guy up off a P squad. So I thought we have extended rosters for a reason, but that's just me.
So that's what he said, and then Bud Dupree had this to say, just posting a bunch of laughing emojis, and Eric Ebron chimed in as well, saying, "Dog, I'm trying to stay off here right now. I'll get fined for what I want to say." So the Steelers are frustrated, and look, to some degree, I understand their frustration. This is the second time this season that they've been the team that was scheduled to play the team that has had the COVID outbreak. But in case it isn't crystal clear to everyone, Graziano, explain why the situation in Denver over the weekend and the situation with the Ravens right now really have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, the failure to understand this on the part of the Steelers players, Zach Banner, results in a perception that the Ravens game has been postponed because the Ravens are shorthanded. That is not the case. The reason the Ravens game has been postponed multiple times is the Ravens have had at least one positive test for each of the last 9 days. There have been times during the past week where the league and the team and the players union felt like it was not safe for the Ravens to assemble and play the game. That's why it keeps getting postponed. That's why it was postponed again last night. They want another day of clear testing to get some confidence that it's going to be safe. In the case of the Broncos, they don't have a team-wide outbreak like Baltimore does. They had one guy test positive, and when you have someone test positive, you assess their close contacts. When the league assessed the close contacts of the player, Jeff Driscoll, who tested positive, it found that the other three quarterbacks were high-risk close contacts because they were around him for an extended period of time. They weren't wearing masks. High-risk close contacts have to isolate 4 or 5 days. And that's what happened to the Broncos. It just so happened that they were all quarterbacks. But there was no thought of postponing because there was no outbreak that led them to believe it wasn't safe for the Broncos to assemble. Those guys were just taken off the field by virtue of the protocols.
And so, again, the game is scheduled to be played tomorrow. By the way, it's scheduled to be played in the afternoon because of the NBC is committed to the Christmas tree lighting ceremony tomorrow night. Nothing could be more 2020 than that is. But Greg McElroy, if I could come to you on this, I know that watching what you watched in Denver the other day left you with a pretty strong feeling.
Yeah, guys, here's my thing. If the Ravens are going to be at less than full capacity, to the point in which they can't execute, then we are doing damage to the shield, right? Like us as players and us that are associated with the NFL, we're proud of the shield. We're proud of that moniker. You got to protect the shield. You're told that in every single NFLPA meeting. And what we saw from Denver, their inability to put together any semblance of offensive football literally impacts the integrity of the brand. Like, that affects us as viewers because you are literally damaging the quality of the broadcast. If for whatever reason someone moved to this country last Thursday and watched NFL football for the first time and they put on that Denver game, they'll never watch again. So we need to protect the integrity. So if these teams are way less than at full capacity, we need to strongly consider postponing the game and adopting the Week 18 philosophy.
Why do I have a funny feeling the offensive lineman on this set doesn't see it that way?
Yeah, absolutely not, man. Listen, I fully think what the NFL is doing is as good as they can do, right? You're just trying to find a way to play these games. This whole idea, the Broncos screwed up, right? Their quarterback room screwed up. People could say the quality of the game isn't good when backups have to play. I mean, come on, man. It's a pandemic. There's nothing else they can do. They're doing their absolute best to get games. The quality of play, I hope every consumer who's watching the NFL understands the quality of play may suffer if teams have an outbreak. That's just reality, man. But don't keep pushing and posting. At the end of the day, the season's getting longer and longer. Players want to get it played and get it out of the way.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, the game does have a lot of significance. Let me just show you the standings here. Again, it matters. The Ravens are currently on the fringes of the AFC playoff picture. They have a meeting with the Steelers again tomorrow. A loss would put them in a very precarious position with 5 games remaining. And if it is played tomorrow, they're going to play it without Lamar Jackson. So we will see. Meanwhile, another tough weekend it was for Tampa Tom and his Buccaneers. And again, bringing about plenty of criticism regarding the style of offense that Tampa is running. Yesterday, here on this program, Dan Orlovsky had some strong words about the way the coaches are using Tom Brady. Here's what he said.
So last week, You ran motion 6 times. Yesterday, you run play action pass 5 times. He goes 4 for 5, 83 yards in a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes ran play action pass 17 times. Right now, Bruce Arians is wasting Tom Brady. He got served a silver platter, the greatest quarterback to ever play. And all you had to do was use him the right way. And he's completely failing Tom, and I've got fear that it's going to bury this football team this season.
All right, so that was Danny, and he was passionate. Greg, put some pictures to the words. What are we seeing right now in that offense?
Well, if you go beyond what Dan said and you listen to Bruce Arians' press conference, he said, hey, we like to not motion, we like to block them up. Well, if you're blocking them up, why is it that Kansas City got so many free rushers throughout the course of the game on Sunday? It was unbelievable. Here's the look, all right? You have 6 protectors. They're going to bring 6. The first linebacker coming is blocked. The second linebacker's not. It's called hot. You got to get rid of the football. He's unblocked. Well, the only answer you give your quarterback is to throw it 35 yards downfield. What's the percentage of completion? Very, very small. Same exact blitz. Same blitz. Linebacker left's taken care of. Linebacker sweeping around is unblocked. Forces Brady to throw high off an unblocked defender yet again. This time the offensive line says, we're going to protect the interior. We're going to take care of those 2 linebackers. But, hey, Tom, you got this defensive end. Good luck. You just have to throw one up like a Hail Mary style to your running back who's free releasing. And then here it is right here again and empty. You got blitz off the left-hand side. We're going to block the linebacker, no problem. Yeah, but you know what, Tom? Go ahead at 43 years old and take care of this defensive end for us. Right now, they're not doing a sound job in protection, taking care of a 43-year-old quarterback. They need to protect him first, and then when they can't protect him, they need to build in answers because all their answers right now are down the field shots, and that's not a capable weapon right now for Tom Brady.
Jeff, there's been a lot of that kind of conversation. That's an excellent illustration of it, and we've been talking about it. What do you see?
Listen, the block it up principle works. I played on an offense where we did block it up, and we understood the protection has to be better. Listen, Tom, the whole idea of motion and what Dan's talking about, I get he's passionate about motion. All that's going to bring is more confusion to this offense at this point. Listen, they don't know where it's coming from when they're static. So start moving guys around and bringing pressure. You have no idea how to communicate this. This goes back to preseason reps together. These guys don't understand if they're a hot team or a pick-it-up team. They just don't have an identity yet. And whether you like it or not, practice does matter. I know Bruce Arians said that. They have to get better in understanding what they want to get accomplished. Let Tom Brady feel comfortable because and I know, everybody else in the NFL knows, Tom Brady's going to be a statue 5 yards behind the center. There's no surprise in that. So however you want to get it, whether it's hot or picking it up, you can do either one. At this point, trying to bring in motion, these guys, Bruce Arians knows how to coach, right? Leftwich, Tom Moore, there's a bunch of guys on that staff who know how to coach. They didn't forget how to coach football. They have to all get on the same page. And part of this goes to Tom Brady understanding where to put his protection and making sure he's blocked up and protected first and foremost. Worry about the route secondarily.
And so, Graz, they have now their extraordinarily late bye week. What is the sense you're getting coming out of there?
I didn't get the sense that they were feeling too bad about the way Sunday went. Yeah, they got punched in the mouth early. Obviously, they need to figure some things out on defense, for one. We don't talk about that. But they came back and played well in the second half, and I think they feel like there's stuff they can build on, especially going into a bye week where you do your self-scouting and you reassess and you figure out what adjustments have to be made. And look, to Jeff's point, adjustments have to be made. They didn't have preseason reps. And, Orlovsky, and I know he knows this, he's using a Kansas City Chiefs comparison. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have been together 4 years. They can finish each other's thoughts when it comes to play calling. Tom Brady and Bruce Arians met 8 months ago. I mean, this is part of the deal. Yep. They have to put something together, and that's why it was a mistake early in the season to be thinking this was a surefire Super Bowl contender. They aren't all the way yet what they are eventually going to be. They feel like they can get there, but they still need work.
Let's see what the last few weeks wind up looking like for them. We will take our first break, but we are jam-packed this morning. Stay with us as we continue. Coming up, yesterday, Bears head coach Matt Nagy called out his team after a Sunday night stinker. Did his comments do him more harm than good? We debate. And then it is the playoff chaos scenario of 2020. What happens if Ohio State can't play for the Big Ten championship? It's a very real possibility, and we'll assess what it means as we continue.